Hello, my name is Elizabeth French. I am the contracted registrar to take care of this collection, which was donated by John Ferry in 2017 and located here in the Bank Building across from the Art Museum of Southeast Texas in Beaumont. It arrived in boxes and I have been unpacking it for 2 years. So these are some of the things that we've replaced the cardboard boxes, and some things, we just don't have one that's big enough here, with these acid-free boxes while we inventory everything. And every piece has to have a file and assigned a number and a paper file actually to document its condition, its what it's made from, what its use is for, when it was collected, if we have that information. And it's kind of like, at first it was very exciting because of it's like Christmas morning when you're opening everything up. And finally I got it all kind of sorted by, this is by artist, Carla Magna pieces, that have tons of pieces. And then these are art sculptures and trees of life and fruit sculptures. They like fruit. And then smaller things with masks and such. These 3 boxes that are similar. So it kind of grouped them by categories. And removed a ton of cardboard and packing papers. This is one of the most recent ones that I've made a folder for, which includes assigning an accession number. And this is 3 parts, so there's an A, B, C. And I actually had applied the number on there last week, so I was letting it dry before I put it away. And these are some cactus sculptures made out of clay, but they're actually pots because they have an opening on top. These are all toys, all the toys, nativities, baskets. We only have a couple of those. There's a little winged pootie with no wings. And all of these guys are made out of paper. And it's best for them to hang since their little toes get broken if they stand on something. So these are all the pots and bowls and lidded pots and pitchers in the collection, which are quite a few. There are quite a few textiles in the collection, and we did those last year, and they're all in the boxes and perfectly wrapped up properly and ready for retrieval for exhibition or research or whatever. I started with the masks. I think there's like maybe 50 or 60 of them. I can't quite recall. And I just hung them on the wall because they're kind of awkward. And I like to look at them. This is one of my favorites because of the turtle. Look at those daggers. And the mermaid is actually a man.
working on here?
This is where I am now. I just finished the ceramic tiles and the pitchers, the pulque pitchers, which is it's a drink that's made from agave. It's not tequila. It's kind of a milky homebrew that the lower class people used to drink a lot, or the working class people, farmers and such, villagers or whatever. And then the beer industry, I just read the other day that the beer industry kind of lobbied to put them out of business because they were cutting in on their beer business and tequila business. So it's had a recent resurgence and popularity in Mexico City among the millennials, I guess. And so they're like, we like it. And they have all kinds of flavors now. And so the pitchers they're back there with the pitchers. We have about 4 of them, I think. And that used to be just for men, and it goes back to ancient Aztec times. But I can shake one. Oh yeah, this one's cool. Watch your head. This one has an awesome jaguar on it. And they all have this kind of face with the feathers. It's kind of a tradition. So I've applied a tag to it that describes what it is. And I also wrote a number on the bottom of it in case the tag is removed.
Eli, did you already have an interest in Mexican folk art or Mexican culture before you started this, or did you learn a lot through?
That's always been my career, everything I've ever worked with. I just like to learn about new things, and I like to research things. So, but my dad was always fascinated with the Mayan culture in Mexico, so I knew a little bit about that, but I haven't really traveled. Most of this is from down near Oaxaca and south of Mexico City, and there's a lot of different people down there making a lot of different things. And so, like, some of these are traditional from one region, and you can just tell, even though it's a modern artist, it's made out of black clay, and they've always had black clay things in a certain region, and also a certain style of I was trying to find a sample of it. Oh, this has a lot of these little tiny dots on it, and that's from like a certain region, and this is the fish picture. It's pretty cute. But I haven't gotten to these pictures yet. This is what I'm working on right here, is this section to number them. This is a cute little set of tequila things. They're from Tonala, and it has this crosshatch pattern on there, and that's indicative of that region. So I've found out a lot about it.
So what are some other interesting projects that you've worked on in your career?
Well, I worked at a flight museum, and so we had a lot of airplane parts and aircraft and uniforms and historical stuff from persons who served in the military, usually the Air Force, because it was a kind of airplane museum. And then I worked at Museum of the Gulf Coast, and it had a lot of glass, a big glass collection, and then all of the sports people and the music gallery and notable people from the region, so regional. And then I also had to research to do an exhibition on hurricanes, so I know all about the hurricanes that came here. And what else? Oh, shells. They had over like 1 million shells down there in that collection and things like that. So you just have to learn about it just based on whatever exhibition you've decided to pull out of the collection.
Which next summer will be Carlo Magno.
I'm very excited about that. And hopefully it's packed up in an organized fashion that you can set it up and then pack it back up and not have to worry about it. And that's what I do. It's behind the scenes.